Hi, my name is Kel. I'm a gardener here in Ohio, Zone 6B, and today I am going to talk about tulip tips. I'm a cut flower grower, and I grow and sell specialty flowers from my flower stands. Even if you already have tulip bulbs in the ground, I can guarantee some of these tips are going to help you get those longer stems. So I plant here in Ohio my tulip bulbs about mid-October. My first frost date is anywhere between October like 15th and 25th. So I usually try to get tulip bulbs in the ground within the first 2 weeks of October. Sometimes it's still really hot like summer, and then other times the temperature has dropped. It's just like a hit or miss here when it comes to fall. It's either a summer fall or a winter fall. But so this year it was about October 17th or so when I got them in the ground. It was still pretty mild out. And it says to plant tulip bulbs 6 to 8 inches deep. Here in my region and where I'm at in Ohio, we have more clay soil. So I do keep it around 6 inches when I'm planting tulips, just to help not too much moisture, and they just seem to do better at that rate. So and then I also do recommend adding a layer of mulch after you've planted your tulips. Not only does it give the tulips added protection, it does help hold in some moisture when you do get moisture when it rains. It also will protect them a little bit better from any type of rodents that might get into your garden. And then it also is really important to make sure the tulips get plenty of water. If you don't water them enough, or you have a very dry winter and there's just not a lot of moisture, it will stunt the growth of your tulips. And the goal for cut flower growers is to have those really nice long stems. So maintaining water throughout the winter is going to really help with that. And then if tulips start to sprout a little early, like in January, let's say, I do add another layer of topsoil just to give them a little bit more time. It's not necessary, but that's just what I always do. Harvesting. Okay, so this is the fun part when you get to harvest. So I harvest my tulips when they're at that color crack stage, and I'll put a picture here to show you what I mean, but they look green still. They're not open at all, but they have that little slight bit of color showing, and that's when I like to pull them because that's when they store the best in the fridge. If a stem snaps when I'm pulling out the tulip, because I pull out the tulip bulb and all, but if a stem snaps, I'll still dry store it in the fridge, but I'll make sure I use those stems first in my bouquets when I'm selling them in the stand. I do dry store tulips. Last spring was very wet. We had a ton of rain. So I did make sure when I did have to pull tulips wet, that I dried every stem off with a paper towel to get as much moisture off the stem as I could before I wrapped them and put them in the fridge for storage. I will wrap my tulips in bundles of anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 stems, just depending on how many I have that I've harvested that day. And I will just wrap them together in craft paper. And then that way it'll keep any extra moisture out of the stems in the fridge. And I just use a fridge I got off Marketplace. It's like a $50 refrigerator somebody was getting rid of. It's out in my garage. It's set to about 35 degrees. You can store tulips anywhere from like 35, 38, 45 degrees even. So sometimes that fridge out there, the temperature does go up in it a little bit because it is in the garage, and they've always been fine. And then I also store tulips up to 4 weeks in the fridge. So if you dry store them up to 4 weeks, you can take the stems out maybe like a day before you want to make bouquets. They're going to look very sad. They're going to look flimsy and noodly, and you're going to think that these are just trash, but they're not. So you'll cut your bulbs off, you'll put them in water, keep them tightly wrapped still, and let them hydrate overnight. And by morning, they're gonna be perfect and ready to go for your bouquets. Well, I hope these tips help with your tulip growing. For me, tulips are my most profitable crop, and I'm always excited to have them in the stand every year. Thanks for watching. If you've learned anything in this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to stick around and learn more about cut flower growing, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.